What's up, everybody? Paul Hickey here with NoOffSeason.com. Welcome to the Football Card Strategy Show, Episode 2, part of the NoOffSeason.com Sports Card Content Network at the Sports Card Strategy feed. Andy Cason is our host of the Football Card Strategy Show, and he is about to drop some knowledge on what moves the needle in the football card market, and he's going to talk about some GOAT cards to keep an eye out for. Everybody, don't forget to check out NoOffSeason.com Sports Card Investment Report. You can save 20% on this amazing report by using the promo code NOOFFSEASON, all lowercase, at checkout. Andy, take it away.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the NoOffSeason.com Football Card Strategy Show. I'm your host, Andy Cason, here from the Football Card Quest over on YouTube and the Football Card Quest Cast. You can find it anywhere you get podcasts. And today on NoOffSeason.com's Football Card Strategy Show, we're going to be talking about what moves the market in the football card when it comes to football cards, and talk about some of the best plays when it comes to Hall of Famers, guys that are GOATs, maybe guys that are still actively playing, because the crazy thing is, you're looking at right now, I'm bringing you guys into my computer screen if you're watching this on YouTube, but you are seeing the most sales volume in terms of graded cards sold on eBay in the past 7 days. And who do we see leading this way? Of course, we see a lot of quarterbacks, but we're seeing young guys. Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, no doubt. These guys have proven to be elite in the NFL. But behind them, we've got more speculative guys like Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Hurts. Josh Allen has been proven to be a stud, but with 2018 product, there's a lot more scarcity around it than there is 2020 or 2021. Then we've got Justin Jefferson, another 2020 rookie, our first skill position player on this chart, leading the way for skill position players, but he's from that 2020 draft class where they printed roughly 4,000 different rookie cards for any given first, second, third round rookie from the 2020 NFL draft class. Mahomes, no surprise there. Although he is a 2017 rookie, he's been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years, in the AFC Championship game virtually every year. So what Mahomes has done in his short career since 2017 is absolutely incredible. And that's why his base raw prisms are up to around $700. His graded PSA 10 prisms are like $6,500 on average. Those have been up to around $10,000 before. It's absolutely crazy, but it's because of what he's done in the playoffs since 2017. Tom Brady is the real anomaly here. You see, all the guys that have gone through so far are less than 26, 27 years old. These are all young guys. Tom Brady, the only anomaly, but he's also the GOAT. He's got 7 Super Bowl rings. You know, he's got how many MVPs? He's broken how many records? At this point, he's breaking his own records, and he's still playing. He unretired. As a Tampa Bay fan, extremely happy about that. But he's a guy that continues to sell, and it's not just his rookie card product, because in fact there are only 135 different Tom Brady rookie cards manufactured in the year 2000. He was drafted in the 6th round, so there's not a lot. So that's why there's a tremendous amount of scarcity there. A lot of it's of him in his Michigan uniform, and they're all pretty much really expensive, especially in the graded variations. You got to be careful. There is a lot of fakes and reprints of his 2000 rookie card product because of how well known Tom Brady is. You got to be careful. The same thing with Patrick Mahomes. This is why some people gravitate towards graded cards, but luckily now we do have the eBay Authenticity program where, backed by CSG, they're looking at the authenticity of these more higher end raw cards, which is fantastic, right? We love to see that. Look at Mac Jones, who's been touted last year as the second coming of Tom Brady. We saw his base paper Donruss PSA 10 cards get up to roughly $2,500. Guys, that is insane. That's more than what we saw for Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, who are way, way better than Mac Jones any given day. But Mac Jones is a good game manager. He fits that Bill Belichick mold to a T. He runs that offense. He's led the Patriots to some wins last year in some critical primetime scenarios. That's what led to his volume getting so high. But it's a combination of that and him being so young, because There's the legends, the stories of people getting in on Tom Brady at an early age, getting in on Patrick Mahomes in his rookie season when he actually slid in the draft behind Mitchell Trubisky, who the Bears moved up to get. At the time, Mitchell Trubisky's Prism rookie cards were selling for more than Patrick Mahomes. However, that did not last long because once Patrick Mahomes took the starting job over from Alex Smith, Kansas City, it was on like Donkey Kong, right? Patrick Mahomes set the league on fire, and now he is the hobby darling next to Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, because they just have so much more volume in 2020. They are the major faces of the hobby from 2020 sports card boom. That's why you see so much volume moving from them. Something that we really like to look at here on the Football Card Quest, of course, is skill position players. Is there opportunity in skill position players? First and foremost, we have to look at the Hall of Fame correlation, because Hall of Famers will garner the most resale value long term, right? The younger players are more volatile, because if Mac Jones goes out this year and has a 6-12 season with the Patriots because they have a difficult schedule and they've lost key pieces on their defense and they really haven't built a tremendous amount of talent around Mac Jones, and Bill Belichick plans to play defense and play that ground and pound, run heavy style of football, bully style football to just move the chains and grind out wins. Well, with the difficult schedule, they could just be outgunned this year. They could lose. This could be the worst year for the Patriots we've seen in quite a while. Mac Jones' value are going to go down considerably. Not to mention the fact that you have new product being released, Prism, Optic, and Select, coming up in June and July. These are major releases going into retail stores. They're going to triple, quadruple the supply of short print, serial numbered Mac Jones cards, autographed Mac Jones cards. So it's going to take the value of the ones that are out currently down just by nature, just by an increase in supply and not an increase in demand. This is something you got to be extremely aware of, as right now we're sitting in May and the season coming up in just a couple months. There's going to be a much different supply. Demand may be high right now for Mac Jones, but October, November, after they've lost 5-6 games, that demand, chances are, is not going to be there. And the hobby is going to turn their eyes to who's in the MVP consideration, who's in those talks, who's winning. And that's not just for quarterbacks, but that's for skill position players as well. And when you look at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the average Hall of Fame tight end score is 97 points. So when we look at this Hall of Fame tight end marker right here, one guy jumps out at me. We're just talking about how expensive Patrick Mahomes cards have got, and it just so happens that Travis Kelce has actually been his number one wide receiver since 2017. In fact, when you look at all receiving yards since 2016, not just wide receivers, not just tight ends, we're talking all receiving yards, Travis Kelce leads them all. He is the number one receiving yardage leader since 2016, ahead of Devontae Adams, ahead of Julio Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, and even my guy here in Tampa, Big Mike Evans. Travis Kelce is absolutely not a lock for the Hall of Fame yet. We talked about that score. Well, he's at 86.4. Not quite a lock, but he does have the Super Bowl championship. He does have 3 All-Pro, 7 Pro Bowls, and his stats are quickly racking up. I mean, he's already got yardage that is rivaling that of Rob Gronkowski. Although he is, lagging behind Gronkowski by about 35 touchdowns rather, and quite a few Super Bowls as well. But you look at a guy like Travis Kelce and you say, okay, is there opportunity in Travis Kelce? I think if you are investing in Travis Kelce, there absolutely is opportunity. And you could look at this as more of a long-term hold type of perspective, because Travis Kelce is already secured as a borderline Hall of Famer. All he has to do is go out and have a couple more middle-of-the-run type of seasons, and you've seen that the typical career arc for that of tight ends is much longer than wide receivers and running backs. We see running backs start to decline around 27, 28 years old. We see wide receivers start to decline around 29, 30 years old. We see tight ends some of these tight ends can play well into their early 30s at still a very high level. And Travis Kelce is only a 2013 rookie, so he's been in the league 8 years now, heading into his 9th season. But look at Gronk still playing, heading in possibly his 12th season. Or look at guys like Jason Witten, who played 17 years in the league. Even Antonio Gates played 15 years in the league. Shannon Sharp played 13 years in the league. And Tony Gonzalez, the best tight end ever to play the game statistically. You're talking 16 years in the league. So we're at least looking at another 5-6 years from Travis Kelce. He's historically taken really good care of his body. He's an incredible, he's obviously going to be the number one receiving leader for the Chiefs, especially now that they have traded away Tyreek Hill, who was their other number one receiving option, who a lot of people say is irreplaceable. Yeah, they bring in Juju Smith-Schuster. We like that big body slot style wide receiver, Juju Smith-Schuster from the Steelers, who had a great rookie season, and it's kind of a lot of question marks. He suffered from injury. He also played through Ben Roethlisberger's last season. They also drafted a guy I'm really excited about in Sky Moore. Really interesting prospect, great ability to separate and get open off the line of scrimmage. He reminds me a lot of a guy like DJ Moore, who plays for Carolina. I like Sky Moore a lot, but he's a rookie. He's got very little cards out for him. He's not going to have the chemistry with Patrick Mahomes. Neither is Marquez Valdes-Scantling. These guys aren't going to have the chemistry, the rapport with Patrick Mahomes that Travis Kelce has. If you watch the mic'd up series of Travis Kelce with Patrick Mahomes, this guy is calling plays on defense. He's giving Patrick Mahomes the inside on, when defenses are going to do certain things and when he's going to be open, et cetera, et cetera. There's no more iconic card for Travis Kelce than the 2013 Topps Chrome. Absolutely love this card. It's in multiple different variations. This card can be a difficult one to grade. You see, this is one card I have on the wall behind me, and I got this Topps Chrome Refractor. I bought this for about a year ago for roughly $60. And you can see right now you could potentially have this card in auction raw for $41. This is a card that if you get graded in good condition, the grade on this card is really going to go a long way to improving that resale value, right? Because these cards are difficult to grade. There's very intricate texturing around the team logo and the rookie card logo at the bottom where the card separates from that bottom border. Also, centering is a big issue. But the short print parallel versions of this 2013 Topps Chrome Refractor, very nice card. It definitely is most iconic rookie card. He's talked about this card live on television and on podcast before with Adam Lefkoe, who's a professional broadcaster for sports-related content. And it's so, he's talked about it. It is very interesting. It's an iconic photo. It's wonderful. So if you're going to get in, this card is one that is iconic within the hobby, very safe from an investment standpoint to hold long term. You see all the liquidity around it. Look at the amount of transactions. So it's a great card to gauge the ups and downs of the market with, and phenomenal investment. Not to mention, the Chiefs are a team that, thanks to Patrick Mahomes, they're continuing to climb up in terms of social media coverage. Look at the amount of check-ins today from the Kansas City Chiefs. We're talking 71,363. They're number 23 on the Facebook page Trackalytics right here, that I love to look at because it just gives you an idea of the potential collectors, the potential fan base, but we can see it growing. We see it growing all the time for the Chiefs, led by the fact that Patrick Mahomes can lay out sideways and throw a horizontal pass to Travis Kelce 20, 30 yards downfield. He can rack up a ton of, he's still going to be your number one fantasy tight end coming off the board next to Mark Andrews, potentially Kyle Pitts. He's going to be up there. When you talk about dynasty and you take their age in their contract scenario into your scope, you got to add Kyle Pitts in there, TJ Hawkinson, Mark Andrews, guys like that, are going to be, George Kittle are going to be ranked right next to Travis Kelce, but Travis Kelce has got more receiving production than all of them, and he's going to be a mainstay in Kansas City. And the other great thing is that he was drafted by Kansas City, so he's played there his entire career. So his rookie product is really where you want to dig in at. Not one more thing about Travis Kelce is that 2013, his rookie year, is the first year that Select was manufactured. So you love to see that it's a first-year product. There is a little bit additional liquidity and collectability around first-year products like that. Another guy that's interesting to look at that's a fringe Hall of Famer, incredible wide receiver, doesn't have the Super Bowls, but definitely has the Pro Bowls, definitely has the stats he's accumulating. Now, is an interesting one because he has been popped for performance-enhancing drugs. Just as a week or two ago, he was announced to miss the first 6 weeks of the regular NFL season, so he won't be back to week 7. But DeAndre Hopkins is incredible, and he's so well known for that play against the Buffalo Bills where Kyler Murray evaded pressure, threw it up like a 50-yard bomb, and literally DeAndre Hopkins jumps over like 3 different Buffalo defenders all over him, catches the ball, brings it in for a touchdown. They win the game in the final seconds. That kind of moment is iconic, and it'll stick around forever in people's brains. And he's a guy that is relevant not only in his rookie product, another 2013 rookie, so you want to look at those Topps Chrome short print parallels. I really like these throwback from 1986 Chrome finishes. These are one of my favorite cards. This is one of my favorite cards. You have them in different short print parallel. I just love the portrait style and him pointing. I think it's really cool. You can get DeAndre Hopkins cards right now for very cheap, especially now with him missing the first 6 games. The hype on him has cooled significantly. We talk about the fear of missing out, or FOMO, drives the market significantly. That's why we already see rookie ticket autos of guys that maybe won't even start in 2022, like Kenny Pickett, like Matt Corral, drafted by the Panthers, already going for close to $100. And they haven't even played a single snap yet in the NFL. Whereas DeAndre Hopkins is a fringe Hall of Famer. You can find autograph cards if he's able to stick around and play at a high level for a couple more years, and a very pass-happy offense, by the way, a clear number 1 alpha wide receiver on the Cardinals, who, by all accounts, should definitely be back in the playoffs this year. Kyler Murray should only get better. They've only improved the supporting cast in the Cardinals, and if they can just work out some of their little intricacies, like some coaching issues, maybe some leadership things. Obviously, DeAndre Hopkins got to stay off the PEDs, but he is absolutely, if they get a championship, watch out. That's going to really, drive his prices. Or if DeAndre Hopkins is performing as a top 10, top 5, top 3 wide receiver level with Kyler Murray, all of a sudden you're going to see similar to what happened with Cooper Kupp last year, where even though he wasn't a rookie, wasn't a second-year player, he broke out in a big way just as a top producer, and the team was winning. So those are the kind of things we look at. Of course, 2013 product, 2013 Select is nice. And though, look at veteran product of DeAndre Hopkins in his Cardinal uniforms. That's nice stuff, right? People that are Cardinals fans, put yourself in the shoes of a fan of that team, like the Cardinals. If you're a Cardinals fan, you absolutely love DeAndre Hopkins for what he's already done, and you're gonna want a card of DeAndre Hopkins in his Cardinals uniform. Just like I'm a Bucs fan, and I think it's cool to have a Gronkowski rookie card, but I really want Brady, I want Gronk in a Bucs uniform card, so I'm targeting like more rare 2020, 2021 product of them in the new team uniform. And that's whenever these veteran card plays come into your scope and make those like viable investment opportunities. If we want to go way back and talk about some of the GOATs for skill position players, you got to look at 2004 rookie Larry Fitzgerald, who is one of the best wide receivers arguably of all time. Such an incredible run with the Cardinals, and the guy is so durable, held up for so long. He's a prime example of how, for a wide receiver, Larry Fitz was able to play well into his 30s. A 16-year career for Larry Fitzgerald. Locked for the Hall of Fame, top 4 all-time in terms of stats. But you look at his yardage, he's actually second most yardage of all time. And so when you're looking at his rookie product, it's very interesting going back to 2004. There were not very many cards. You see, in the 90s, they printed only a few cards per player, but they overprinted them. They printed hundreds of thousands of copies. Well, that caused a lot of people to leave the hobby. And so there was a lot less demand in the early 2000s, around this time period. And so the card manufacturers were trying to fix this issue and get the desirability and the demand back up and get the hobby healthy again. And where they started was by printing fewer cards. So cards from the early 2000s are pretty rare. I think there's some really interesting, nice cards from 2004, 2005 you absolutely want to look at. These are great long-term investments. You can kind of look at these as vintage cards, but you can find market inefficiencies because you're going to find some graded cards, especially in this 2004 Topps Chrome set. Absolutely wonderful set to invest in because it's made with such nice quality, and if you can get it in a good grade, the design of it alone is iconic. You can see going up to a PSA 9 grade, now all of a sudden we're going to $175. This is a sold transaction buy it now format from just yesterday, so you know this is liquid. This man is a Hall of Famer. A lot of people love to collect and invest in Larry Fitzgerald. He's helped them win fantasy football championships in the past. He did so many good things for the Cardinals. He was so durable and reliable for so many years. He was just an absolute monster. So people love Larry Fitzgerald. I would say even his autographed, his rare stuff. What's nice is in 2004 and 2005, you can find game-used memorabilia patches. This is something that's extremely difficult, if not impossible, today to find. And if you go back to 2004, 2005, now all of a sudden you can find game-used rookie card patches, and look how low this is going for. I almost view these as more scarce, therefore they should be more valuable than an autograph. Most time people consider the autograph to be more valuable, to be worth more in terms of resale value. However, at any time Larry Fitzgerald could sign another card. At any time you could find Larry Fitz at a signing or an event or something and get him to sign this card. However, there's only so many game-worn, actual NFL game-worn jerseys that can be cut up from Larry Fitzgerald. So when you find game-used patches, and this was something that they did produce a few of in 2004, 2005, especially Upper Deck Exquisite, Upper Deck Reflections, a few different Upper Deck sets from the mid to early 2000s were making game-used jersey patch cards, serial numbered. I love this kind of stuff. I think they're phenomenal. You're going to see these cards long-term be great cards to have in your collection. Think about it from the collector's perspective. Let's talk about defensive players. The guys that have the biggest impact when it comes down to it in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl are these veteran stud defensive players that make these big splash plays. These guys also are written in stone. Their highlights are played for generations to come. When you talk about top 100 players, the defensive guys like Aaron Donald are a prime example. And what I find so fascinating is that Aaron Donald received a ton of hype, right? If it wasn't for him sacking Joe Burrow on some of those plays in the Super Bowl, the Bengals would have won that game. There's no doubt about it. And so if you look at the current value of Aaron Donald autograph cards, like the Rookie Ink or Rookie Ticket Auto from 2014, you'll see these routinely going. This is the same as what a Devontae Adams Rookie Ticket Auto is going for. The same for a Mike Evans, if not more. Actually, this is more than a Mike Evans. So you look at Aaron Donald's autograph stuff, there's significant resale value, and there are very liquid. Look at these transactions. These are May right here, just all within the past couple days. Aaron Donald, super rare card here, for example, BGS 9.5, Topps Chrome autographed rookie card, numbered out of 25, selling for over $1,000. The base Rookie Ticket Auto from Contenders in 2014, selling for about $120 to $140 for Aaron Donald. However, if the Rams are going back to the Super Bowl, we also know that Aaron Donald is already being touted as the best defensive player to play in the game and play the game of football. And it's possible that he goes down when he's finally done with his career. Say the Rams get back to another Super Bowl, well, these cards are absolutely going to get up there. So once these autographed cards eclipse and they get out of people's budget range that they feel comfortable investing and buying into, they just get too hard to get, too expensive. You can start look at this transaction just sold today for $50, $60 for a Topps Chrome Aaron Donald non-rookie card, black refractor. All these other cards now become come into play. And you've got to kind of put yourself in the shoes of a Los Angeles Rams collector, of a football collector, of someone who values the defensive position player. What cards are they going to like? They're going to like the chrome finish cards, the short print parallels, the serial numbered cards. It's very similar to the cards that you see them liking today. And of course, that brand recognition, things like Prism. See this card, Orange Prism from 2014, just closed in auction for $54. If you're investing in Gronk, which I love it, right now is a perfect time to invest in Gronk. His card prices are going to go back up. He is working out with the team, but he has not officially signed an extension. He's not officially declared that he's going to play in 2022, so it's a perfect time to get in on Gronk while he's low because he is a lock for the Hall of Fame. He's so relevant even outside of the game of football in terms of WWE wrestling and just being a spokesman for various things and outspoken and constantly in the media limelight. He's always going to be relevant whether he plays another down in football or not. But guys, because Tom Brady unretired and came back to the Bucs, I guarantee you, mark my words, right here on nooffseason.com, because there is no offseason. If you're not doing this now, by the time the season starts, you're too late. You're too late. Gronk's going to have started his new contract, and you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out because once that news is released, the hype is going to immediately spike for Gronk cards, and these 2010 Topps Chrome cards are going to go up from where they're at now. Because I remember whenever I was buying these cards, Topps Chrome card, that one's graded a 10. You see these autograph cards going for around $200. These are down. Look at this Topps Chrome right here from May 16th going into auction for $16. That was something that you could not get last year when he was playing during the season. This card was going for a minimum of $30 to $40. You just simply were not able to get them this cheap. Even something like a base Chrome rookie card, if you go back to 2010, there's so much scarcity around the product. The prices can go up so quickly in such a heartbeat that you love to see prices like this. A wonderful time to buy Gronkowski on the thought that his hype is absolutely going to immediately spike when the news is released that he extends a one-year contract with the Bucs, which I can say with 99% confidence that he is going to do. Because Tom Brady's in a win now mode, he's got about 1 year left. Why not run it back with Brady one more time? He's just giving him a little bit of crap for the whole unretirement thing. You know, come on, guys, you know this. But yeah, he's a wonderful buy right now. Even the base Topps Chrome at $20, and it's great long-term investment if you want to spend $100, $150 on an autograph card. Same thing with Tony Gonzalez. Tony Gonzalez's rookie year is such an interesting one, 1997. There definitely was still some overprinting going on in this area, in this time period, but when you can find an autographed rookie card, even if it is of him in his college uniform, the penmanship is wonderful, and he is still relevant, guys. He's still on major media outlets. He's on like CBS or ESPN. He's talking football every week, still very relevant. His face is very iconic. Things that he's done in the past, the championship that he's helped fantasy gamers get to in the past is incredible. What he did with the Chiefs and the Falcons in his career are absolutely incredible. So you love to see prices just absolutely target like the Stadium Club cards or the Metal Universe cards, or those Upper Deck draft picks, or go for something with a good grade. There's a Metal Universe. These cards are very liquid, especially in good condition. They're hard to get good grades, but if you can find them going in auction in a good grade and get those for under $20, $30, I mean, it's just, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. There's very little downside. His legacy is sealed in stone, and like we looked at, it's going to be very hard for any tight end to catch the records that he has established. 14 Pro Bowl appearances, 6 All-Pro, 111 touchdowns. I mean, 15,000 receiving yards. It's just absolutely insane. So, I mean, his records are safe. He's going to be relevant for a long time. All right, let's talk about a super fringy running back that I actually really like because he has a ton of fantasy football relevance. This guy was Mr. Consistent, just helped me get to so many fantasy football playoffs and championships over the years, going back to his days in San Francisco and all the other teams he played for as a veteran. And as a running back, Frank Gore played an incredible 14 seasons in the NFL. That's ties Emmitt Smith's record of 14 seasons, and just an incredible, durable guy who racked up an insane 16,000 rushing yards. Now, he only had 81 touchdowns. He wasn't the most prolific. He doesn't have any championships. He's only got 5 Pro Bowls, and he's right on the fringe. The all-average Hall of Fame marker score for a running back is 107. Frank Gore's at 100. But when you look at his rookie cards, and kind of comp those out and look at the values, taking in the fact that he's a 2005 rookie, the same year that Aaron Rodgers was drafted, the values of him being a lock for the Hall of Fame are just a small fraction of that of Aaron Rodgers. However, Frank Gore's got a ton of fans out there, not just from a San Francisco 49ers perspective, but he's also played for several different teams in his career, and he's racked up just an insane amount of fantasy football and real NFL relevance. And I love being able to find, again, talking game used jerseys from 2004, 2005. Look at 2005 Upper Deck product. This was an incredible premier luxury product, especially if you look at 2005 Upper Deck Exquisite. This is a product that is comparable to today's National Treasures, and they had a lot of game used memorabilia. They had a lot of on-card autographs. They had memorabilia with autographs in it. Here's one. We could see a Frank Gore rookie patch RPA from Exquisite going for $450, numbered out of 199. And this is recently in April, May. Right now is a good time because active NFL games aren't being played. A lot of attention is being given to vintage players that are already retired, vintage in terms of 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s product, and just anybody that's not actively in the NFL but is an all-time great. That's the kind of stuff you see on TV right now. Think about the media relevance of all-time greats, GOATs, fringe Hall of Fame players, but that have a lot of relevance. For example, if you talk about somebody like Pat Tillman, this guy is an incredible story, and you could see that Pat Tillman's cards are going to garner quite a bit of money. His cards are going to resell for a lot, and in fact, they're selling every day. And that's because Pat Tillman is an American hero. He played for the NFL, and voluntarily withdrew his position in the NFL to go serve in the armed forces, to go serve in Iraq, and was killed with friendly fire. It's a crazy story that you've got to go check out sometime. But Pat Tillman is an American hero, and because of this, his cards hold significant value from a collection, and you could look at that as an investment standpoint as well. I mean, Pat Tillman's, here's a perfect example of a card just sold yesterday on May 16th. A Donruss Optic Hollow Downtown Pat Tillman selling for $900 in a buy it now format. That means someone went on there, saw this card, decided to spend $900 on it. That's because Pat Tillman sacrificed his life. He made the ultimate sacrifice to lay his body down for our country in a somewhat controversial story. So incredible story. Relevance like that is absolutely going to lead to value in a player's cards. We look at the Super Bowl from just a few years ago, where Malcolm Butler picked off Russell Wilson and Tyler Lockett at the goal line when they should have handed the ball to Marshawn Lynch. If you're a Seahawks fan, close your ears right now because you do not want to hear this. But that leads to the fact that you can go and look at some of the greatest plays in NFL history, including the Hail Mary, the Music City Miracle, and other plays like the Santonio Holmes Super Bowl winning catch when he toe tapped the sideline in just an unbelievable fashion. There's the catch right there. If you're watching on YouTube, insane catch to give them. It's just stuff like that is you remember where you were at, you remember watching the game, you remember the emotion that it felt, especially if you're a fan of that team. The Pittsburgh Steelers have such a huge fan base. That's going to breathe life into the value and to the liquidity of players involved. And once again, we're going back to the mid to early 2000s when you had incredible Upper Deck SP products, Topps Chrome, and they just made some really nice game-worn, we're talking game-worn patches. You got the same type of availability, and you could get this card RPA, on-card autograph, rookie patch auto for Santonio Holmes for $25. Very little downside in a card like that. And what you do is you find these maybe in an auction, 15, 20 bucks, and you relist them in a buy it now format and just wait till maybe there's a special documentary that comes out, or there's some hype because the Pittsburgh Steelers get in the playoffs. You don't know when it could be. It could be at any point in the year. That's why there is no off season. Someone could go on to eBay because they've got the idea that they want to go buy a rookie patch auto Santonio Holmes. These cards aren't getting more common. They're a lot of them are stashed in people's collections forever. So the ones that are available out in marketplaces can quickly go up in resale value. And what I would recommend you do from my experience is you buy them low in the auction like this, and then you resell them for $50, $60. What a respectable RPA would go for. Now all of a sudden you're doubling, tripling your money on this card by listing it in a buy it now format, and somebody emotionally, impulsively almost goes on there, wants to buy it right then. They don't want to wait for an auction. They just want to buy the card of their favorite player, or a memory that they have of a special moment that evokes a certain emotion in them, and all of a sudden you've got yourself a winning formula for making profit on some football cards. It's a very interesting strategy, wonderful angle. You look for cards that evoke certain emotions, and you put yourself in the shoes of a collector. So one more example, we talked about Malcolm Butler. These cards are still being sold every day, and especially if you go look around the Super Bowl time period, you've got more chances of people wanting to reach and grab themselves a Malcolm Butler. And here we've got from 2015 and actually game-used pylon, the road to the Super Bowl from 2015. Incredible card. Got 13 bids, sold for $46, Malcolm Butler. Or any card from Malcolm Butler that depicts him making that interception in the Super Bowl against the Seahawks. It's just, these cards are going to continue to be liquid. They're going to continue to hold resale value. It may not be a whole lot right now, but of course there's going to be short print parallels of them. They're going to routinely sell, especially as you get around relevant media events like the Super Bowl. So definitely something to keep your eye on. Talking about the quarterback on the other end, Russell Wilson. Justin, bring it fast forward to today. This is a player, was in 2 Super Bowls, has that one ring, very, very narrowly lost the second one. Now he's on a new team, coming off a down year. You could potentially grab a Russell Wilson rookie ticket auto for under $1,000 right now, for potentially $400 or $500 in an auction. 2012, tons of scarcity around his rookie card product. Also the first year that Prism was made, so you've also got that as a bonus. And his raw 2012 rookie Prism card can be had for about the same price right now as a Justin Herbert or a Joe Burrow. Absolute incredible dichotomy when you think about the difference in their age, but also the scarcity of that rookie card. So that's what I'm going to leave you guys with here today. Make sure you go check out nooffseason.com. Show Paul Hickey and the team some love. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Football Card Strategy. Next week, we're going to be talking about the NFL hype cycles, digging into the biggest risers and fallers next time on the Football Card Quest. Peace.
All right, everybody, that was Andy Cason with episode 2 of the Football Card Strategy Show right here on the Sports Card Strategy Show feed, part of the nooffseason.com Sports Card Content Network. Don't forget to up your game by joining our premium membership at nooffseason.com, the Sports Card Investment Report. Save 20% on that amazing product by using the promo code NOOFFSEASON, all lowercase at checkout. And also, marketmoversapp.com is a great tool to check the data, the charts, the graphs on all of the movement of all of the cards in the market. Go to marketmoversapp.com and get your first month for only $1 by using the promo code NOOFFSEASON, all lowercase at checkout. Everybody, thanks for listening to the Football Card Strategy Show. Have a great day.